Welcome, everybody. The members of Marshfield High School National Honor Society and our advisor, Mr. Weisgerber, would like to welcome our superintendent, Dr. Patrick Sullivan, principal, Ms. Amy Setner, vice principal, Mr. Dominic Centurino, members of the school committee, guest speaker, Ms. Kelly Steele, faculty, staff, and the inductees and all the families who we are so happy to have here tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here today. For all current and former members, we hope this ceremony will remind you of the standards of excellence you are charged with maintaining as members of the National Honor Society. As I am sure former members will tell you, it is an honor whose importance may not be totally impressed upon you until you sit in a place of your parents and have the honor of watching the next generation rise. The values of this society are as strong as the members who form its foundations, and it is a strong base indeed. With today's ceremony, our chapter is proud to induct this new generation and appreciate their excellence. Much will be demanded of them, and they will demand much from themselves, but that standard of excellence shall remain constant. Strong academic records may allow for eligibility here, but our chapter prides itself on being a place of student leaders and a haven to those in service of our community and school. Students are required to participate in services both within and without these halls, and a shared commitment to civil services. It is in this pursuit that we welcome these new members who bring new energy and enthusiasm to our continuing work as National Honor Society members. Now, Will Jones will give the invocation so that we may reflect upon the significance of tonight's ceremony. Will?
Would everybody please stand? As we gather here today, may we all find peace and comfort in our family. May we give thanks for our many blessings and opportunities and all those that are yet to come. May we always remember the gifts we inherited and try the best to maintain and advance them. May every day shine with promise, effort, and friendship. Thank you. You may be seated. Next, we're happy to have the Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Patrick Sullivan, to offer remarks to the inductees and guests.
Thank you very much. Members of the Marshfield School Committee, Principal Centner, Honor Society Advisor Weisgerber, esteemed staff and faculty, families, and of course, our honored inductees into the Marshfield chapter of the National Honor Society. Welcome to this amazing celebration. Inductees, congratulations. You are the living representation of our vision of a graduate and our district's core values. You have achieved in ways that go beyond the classroom and which show a bright light for our future society. As you will hear tonight, the tremendous recognition of induction into the National Honor Society comes because of your outstanding scholarship, service, leadership, and character. These characteristics, after all, comprise the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. In my greeting to you today, I want to emphasize the pillar which, for me, is the most important of the pillars: character. Character refers to the ideals, morals, beliefs, and actions that define us as individuals. Character allows us to understand and be appreciative of what we have, to accept our obstacles as opportunities to gain experience, and to focus on being the kindest person in the room, not the smartest. As it stands, and as former Illinois Governor J.P. Pritzker put it, the kindest person in the room is often, the smartest person in the room is often the kindest. The recognition of your character today is the greatest honor there is. I can tell you from experience that academic distinctions are wonderful and stand as the benchmarks of hard work. But the moments when individuals recognize your character stand as remarks that strongly reverberate in the heart and tell us that we are doing something right and we should keep going on that track. My father was not an academic. In fact, he barely graduated high school. He was a hardworking streetcar driver for the MBTA and worked so much overtime to allow his family to live in Marshfield that there were weeks I barely saw him. He spent so much time traveling to and from his work in Boston that his left arm was sunburned from resting it on the car door while driving with the windows open through bumper-to-bumper traffic. No joke. He would come home each night exhausted and covered in axle grease. He never complained. He loved his wife and his 2 sons with all his heart, and he taught me more than any professor ever could about perseverance, about courage, and most importantly, about character. He taught me to be grateful for what I had because he and my mother worked hard to provide it for us. He taught me humility, and I still see his face when I even think about complaining about anything. Character overcomes. It does not complain. Throughout my life, my appreciation has grown for my father's quiet character and his impact on me. The poet Robert Hayden expressed a similar admiration for his own father's character in his beautiful poem, Those Winter Sundays. Hayden writes, "Sundays, too, my father got up early and put his clothes on in the blue-black cold. Then, with cracked hands that ached from labor in the weekday weather, made banked fires blaze. No one ever thanked him. I'd wake and hear the cold splintering, breaking. When the rooms were warm, he'd call, and slowly I would rise and dress, fearing the chronic angers of that house, speaking indifferently to him who had driven out the cold and polished my good shoes as well. What did I know? What did I know about love's austere and lonely offices?" Inductees, as you sit here today, I want you to reflect on someone who has inspired you with their character. Please take 20 seconds and close your eyes and think of that person and that person's impact on you being here today. I will keep the time. You can close your eyes and start now. Thank you. Scholars, your homework is to tell this person, or if they are no longer with us, someone who is close to them, that you thought of them during this exercise and that you appreciate all they have done for you. Your scholarship and your potential for future scholarship are remarkable and noteworthy. However, I am most impressed with the character for which you are being honored tonight and with the promise that your character will motivate others as you move into your glowing futures. Our world needs more character, and you can provide it. Well done, inductees. I look forward to your outstanding future success.
Thank you, Dr. Sullivan. Membership into our chapter of the National Honor Society has been earned by the effective demonstration of scholarship, character, service, and leadership. The officers would now like to define these 4 principles of membership. Cooper Thornell will speak on scholarship.
Scholarship denotes a commitment to learning. A student is willing to spend hours in reading and study, knowing the lasting benefits of a cultivated mind. We should continue to learn even when formal education has ended, for human education ends only with the end of life. Knowledge is one great element in life that leads to the highest success, and it can be acquired only through the diligence and effort. Learning furnishes the lamp by which we read the past, the torch guiding us to understand the present, and the light that illuminates the future. Candidates have the charge to continually expand their world through the opportunities inherent in scholarship. Thank you.
Piprionis will now speak on character.
Character is the force within the individual that distinguishes each person from others. It creates for each of us our individuality, our goodness. It is that without which no one can respect oneself nor hope to attain the respect of others. It is this force of character that guides one through life and, once developed, grows steadily within. Character is not achieved and not received. It is the product of constant thought and action, the daily striving to make the right choice. The problem of character is the problem of self-control. We must be, in reality, what we wish to appear to others, to be rather than to seem. By demonstrating such qualities as respect, responsibility, trustworthiness, fairness, caring, and citizenship, we may hope to prove by example that we value character. Thank you.
Gia Doherty will speak on service.
Service is the action of humbly helping others in need while spreading compassion and humanity. Opportunities to serve members of our school and community can be integrated into one's daily routine. A willingness to work for the benefit of those in need without monetary compensation or public recognition is the quality we seek in our membership and promote for the entire student body. We are committed to volunteering our time and talents to the creation of a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Rowan Stankovic will speak on leadership.
Leaders exert a wholesome influence in the school. In taking initiative in the classroom and in school activities, a real leader strives to train and aid others to reach their common goals of success. The price of leadership is sacrifice, the willingness to yield one's personal interests for the interests of others. A leader has self-confidence and will go forward when others hesitate. No matter what power and resources may exist in a school, community, or nation, they are ineffective without the guidance of a wise leader. Leadership is always needed. Thus, to lead is a meaningful and substantive change for each of our members. Thank you.
At this time, will the new inductees please rise, raise your right hands, and repeat the pledge. We also ask that all past members, young and old, of the National Honor Society rise and repeat their pledge as well. Please join me in reciting the pledge. I pledge to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society, to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands, and will maintain and encourage the high standards of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. Thank you and congratulations. And now, please welcome our principal, Mrs. Amy Setner, who will offer congratulatory remarks to our new members.
Good evening and welcome, family, friends, distinguished guests, and new and returning NHS members. Congratulations to all of our new inductees joining the Marshfield High School National Honor Society. Your selection is a testament to the outstanding work you do every day in the 4 pillars of NHS membership: scholarship, service, leadership, and character. For many of you, the application process may have felt like a formality, not because you didn't meet the standards, but because these core values are simply woven into who you are at the core. The high level of scholarship, selfless service, ethical leadership, and upstanding character you display isn't something you do for a reward or for recognition, but because it's the way you choose to live your lives every single day. As you continue in your journeys, both within NHS and beyond, we encourage you to keep these 4 pillars at the center of all that you do. Let your unwavering commitment to academic excellence, community service, principled leadership, and strength of character continue to guide you and inspire those around you. To our new inductees, as well as our returning members, thank you for living out these values and for the positive impact you have on our school and community. We are honored to have you as part of the NHS family, and we look forward to the incredible things you will accomplish in the future. I'd also like to thank our families for supporting our students and instilling these core values. Congratulations, students, both new and returning, and we wish you all the best in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Principal Setner. Would the first group of inductees please assemble, and as your name is called, please step forward onto the stage to receive your certificate of membership. We ask that you hold your applause until all inductees have been recognized.
Will you tell me when? Ava Kahn. Ava is a member of Marshfield Field Hockey, Lacrosse, and Gold Ribbon Club. Ava would like to recognize Mr. Kopp. Maeve Grayland. Maeve is a member of Marshfield Girls Hockey, AFS Club, and Student Council. Maeve would like to recognize her dad, Mr. Grayland. Annabelle McDonald. Annabelle is a member of DECA, Model UN, and Girl Up. Annabelle would like to recognize Miss Heath. Sienna Doherty. Sienna is a member of Key Club and would like to recognize Mr. T, her sophomore year history teacher. Andrew Youngworth. Andrew is a member of Marshfield Boys Hockey, Basketball, and DECA. Andrew would like to recognize his math teacher, Mr. Donlin. Mackenzie Alstead. Mackenzie is a member of the Key Club and would like to thank Miss Steele, her sophomore year history teacher. Alana Amato. Alana is a member of Marshfield Volleyball and the Future Medical Club. Alana would like to recognize Mr. Hardwick, her sophomore year English teacher. Alexis Andrews. Alexis is a member of Marshfield Volleyball and would like to recognize Miss Delaney, her 8th grade history teacher.
Zoe Baker. Zoe is a volleyball player and mathlete who volunteers at Beth Israel Hospital in Plymouth. She would like to recognize her 10th grade AP US history teacher, Mr. Tarosian. Ava Benitis, a member of the winter cheer team and the tennis team. She would like to recognize her 5th grade teacher, Mr. Goodman. Catherine Barrow, a runner for varsity cross country, winters and spring, track and field. She's also a member of the symphonic band. She would like to recognize her 10th grade English teacher, Miss Contrino. Cam Beckwith, a member of volleyball and DECA. She would like to recognize and thank Miss Bandera, her grades 9 through 11 Gen Z teacher. Mary Jane Bernard. She's a member of the Student Council and softball. She would like to recognize Mr. T, her 10th grade pre-AP US history teacher. Lauren Bonarico. She is a member of Key Club and would like to recognize her 10th grade English teacher, Miss Contrino. Nate Beauchans is a member of 4-H and a Boy Scout. He would like to recognize Mr. Leon. Sienna Brayley. She's a member of Gold Ribbon Club and a ambassador in varsity volleyball. She would like to recognize Miss Steele, her sophomore pre-AP US history teacher.
Salvatore Camera, a member of the hockey team. He would like to recognize Ms. Pamela, his 9th grade biology teacher. Isabel Cannon, a member of the dance team and student council. She would like to recognize Ms. Evans, her 1st grade teacher. Ariane Carter, a member of the Model UN Art Club in Marshall Ayres. She would like to recognize Ms. Contrino, her 10th grade English teacher. Justin Casado, a member of winter and spring track and field and the football team. He would like to recognize Mr. Raymond, his 10th grade English teacher. Ryan Casey, a member of the Gaming and Movie Club. He would like to recognize Ms. Hill, his 9th grade English teacher. Grace Chen, a member of the math team, Project Reach, and Key Club. She would like to recognize Ms. Consolati, her 10th grade math teacher. Owen Cook, a member of Track, Student Council, and Key Club. He would like to recognize Ms. Schaff, his 6th grade science teacher. Stella Couliard, a member of the field hockey team and Girl Up Club. She would like to recognize Ms. Contrino, her 10th grade English teacher. Chloe Couples, a member of the varsity girls lacrosse team, Girl Up Club, and the Rams Superfan Club. She would like to recognize Ms. Farrell, her 4th grade teacher.
Jake D'Antonio, a member of the football team, baseball team, and Key Club. Jake would like to recognize Miss Consolati, his 10th grade math teacher. Tyler Dargan, a hockey player and member of DECA. He would like to recognize Miss Steele, his 10th grade history teacher. Olivia David, a member of DECA, as well as indoor and outdoor track. She would like to recognize Miss Heath, her 10th grade chemistry teacher. Katie Devine, a member of Key Club, Medical Professionals Club, and Girl Up. Katie would like to recognize Miss Contrino, her 10th grade English teacher. Benjamin Doran, a member of Football and Stars and Stripes Club. He would like to recognize Mr. Dunn, his 9th grade math lab teacher. Kevin Drake, a baseball player. Kevin would like to recognize Mr. Hardwick, his sophomore English teacher. Riley Eaglestrom, a member of lacrosse, basketball, and Key Club. Riley would like to recognize Mrs. Burke, her sophomore chemistry teacher. Elle Emond, a member of Girl Up and a volunteer at Simple Gestures and McKinney Vento Christmas Program. She would like to recognize Mr. Raymond, her sophomore English teacher.
Clara Fecto, a member of soccer, basketball, and the Future Medical Professional Club. She would like to recognize her elementary school gym teacher, Mr. Patota. Claudia Ferris, a member of soccer, Key Club, and winter and spring track. She would like to recognize Mr. Boyce, her 10th grade English teacher. Isabel Flynn, a member of track, field hockey, and Key Club. She would like to recognize Mrs. Renard. Sarah Foley, a member of Girl Up, a captain of the MHS dance team, and the vice president of Speech and Debate Club. She would like to recognize Miss Steele, her 10th grade history teacher. Dylan Gillis, a member of both winter and spring track. He would like to recognize Mr. Patota, his elementary school gym teacher. Paige Green, a member of the AFS Club and fencing. She would like to recognize Miss Stevenson, her 9th grade history teacher. Emily Gunnarsson, a member of Key Club, Project Reach, and track and field. She would like to recognize Mr. Raymond, her 10th grade English teacher. Jack Hughes, the class president, a member of the football team, and DECA. He would like to recognize Mr. Raymond. Annabelle Huntley, a member of the AFS Club, Movie Club, and Game Club. She would like to recognize Miss Rose, her 9th grade biology teacher.
Brooke Jackson. She would like to recognize Miss Fizino, her 10th grade geometry teacher. Lila Johnson, a member of Key Club, Prom Committee, and Girl Up. She would like to recognize Miss Bandera, her Microsoft Office teacher from grades 9 to 11. Brody Jordan, a member of the Key Club, the hockey team, and the lacrosse team. He would like to recognize Mr. Van Buskirk, his 5th grade elementary school teacher. Eamon Joyce, a member of Key Club, track, and basketball. He would like to recognize Mr. Wheaton, his elementary school gym teacher. Katerina Kajuk, a member of Key Club, Girl Up, and the varsity soccer team. She would like to recognize Miss Bandera, her 9th and 10th grade Microsoft teacher. Isabel Lamb, a member of Key Club and the Mathletes. She would like to recognize Miss Kanarowski, her 9th grade geometry teacher. Riley Linzello, a member of the Green Team, Ambassadors, and the softball team. She would also like to recognize Miss Kanarowski, her 9th grade geometry teacher. Charles Leach, a member of the Gardening Club, football, and track. He would like to recognize Miss Steele, his 10th grade history teacher.
Jack Leahy. Jack is a member of Marshfield Track, Football, and Holy Family Parish. Jack would like to recognize Miss Bandera, his 9th to 11th grade computer teacher. Ryan Lucetti. Ryan is in the Stars and Stripes Club, a member of Marshfield Rugby, and involved with Lucetti's Auto Repair Center. Ryan would like to recognize Mr. Raymond, his sophomore year English teacher. Carly Leiden. Carly is a member of the Marshfield Girls Tennis Team, Key Club, and Prom Committee. Carly would like to recognize Mr. Donlin, her sophomore year geometry teacher. Kira Mahoney. Kira is a member of DECA and Key Club and would like to recognize Miss Hill, her English teacher. Sonia Maloniova. Sonia is a member of the Marshfield Track Team and Project Reach and would like to recognize Mr. Cassavant, her 6th grade history teacher. Rowan Malvey. Rowan is a member of Marshfield Girls Soccer, Key Club, and DECA. Rowan would like to recognize Miss Contrino, her sophomore year English teacher. Luke Mamet. Luke is a member of Chess Club and Reedy's JOAD archery team. Luke would like to recognize Miss Kenny, his computer science teacher. Ryan McCabe. Ryan is a member of DECA, Marshfield Boys Basketball, and Soccer. Ryan would like to recognize Miss Steele, his sophomore year history teacher. Ella McCarthy. Ella is an equestrian and would like to recognize Miss Gage, her math teacher.
Clara McGrath. Clara is a member of the lacrosse team, the soccer team, and the Future Medical Professionals Club. She would like to recognize Miss Pamela, her 9th grade biology teacher. Benjamin McKenna. He is a member of youth government and works at McDonald's. He would like to recognize Mr. Egan, his 10th grade Algebra 2 teacher. Tucker McNamee. He is a member of the track and cross-country teams and would like to recognize Mr. Tarosian, his 10th grade history teacher. Ryan Medeiros. He is a member of DECA and the football team and would like to recognize Miss McGurdy, his homeroom teacher. Delaney Mitchelson, a member of DECA, student council, and the track team. She would like to recognize Miss Weber, her 10th grade advanced marketing teacher. Lauren Morris, a member of the film club, the game club, and mock trial. She would like to recognize Mr. Raymond, her 10th grade English teacher. Lillian Newman. She is a member of field hockey, softball, and the medical professionals club. She would like to recognize Miss Salamone, her 10th grade Spanish teacher. And Bianca Nogueira. She is a member of the track and field team and Project Reach. She would like to recognize Mr. Raymond, her 10th grade English teacher.
Melanie Noyes, a member of the field hockey team, Girl Up, and Key Club. She'd like to recognize Mr. Tarosian, her 10th grade history teacher. Chloe O'Brien, a member of the gymnastics team and Hot Shot Soccer. She would like to recognize Ms. Gullickson, her 5th grade teacher. Samuel O'Brien, a member of the lacrosse team, DECA, and the hockey team. He would like to recognize Mr. Raymond, his 10th grade English teacher. Delaney O'Neill, the class historian, a member of the green team, and a ambassador. She would like to recognize Ms. Kenarowski, her 9th grade math teacher. Maya Overton, a member of the gymnastics team, Key Club, and Girl Up. She would like to recognize Mr. Tarosian, her 10th grade history teacher. Anya Palumbo, a member of the Theatrical Society and Student Council. She would like to recognize Ms. Scanlon, her theater teacher. Tessa Panagrossi, a member of the soccer team, basketball team, and Key Club. She would like to recognize Mr. Tarosian, her 10th grade history teacher. Sarah Penny, a member of cross country and the track team. She would like to recognize Mr. Murphy, her 8th grade math teacher.
Natalie Pereira, a varsity field hockey player and a member of Key Club and Project Reach. Natalie would like to recognize Mrs. Pamela, her freshman biology teacher. Julia Pazerski, a member of the varsity field hockey team, varsity lacrosse team, and Gold Ribbon Awareness Club. She would like to recognize her 9th grade math teacher, Ms. Kantorowski. Nisha Prabhu, a 3-season varsity athlete, class secretary, and DECA officer. Nisha would like to recognize Mr. Murphy, her 8th grade Algebra 1 teacher. Padraig Purcell, he is a football player, history club member, and a member of spring track. Padraig would like to recognize Miss Tate, his 3rd grade teacher. Brooke Quigley, a member of Key Club, girls tennis, and DECA. Brooke would like to recognize Miss Palladino, her 9th grade world history teacher. Owen Reitmeyer, a member of DECA, Stars and Stripes Club, and works at Rote Marine. Owen would like to recognize Mr. Kramer, his 9th grade English teacher. Caroline Robbins. Caroline is a member of lacrosse, DECA, and class officers. She would like to recognize Miss Weber, her sophomore advanced marketing teacher and DECA advisor. Callie Santa Croce, a member of winter and spring track, DECA, as well as green team. Callie would like to recognize Miss Heath, her sophomore chemistry teacher.
Connor Scott, a member of the football team, track team, and DECA. He would like to recognize Miss Steele, his 10th grade history teacher. Will Scott, a member of the football team, track team, and DECA. He would like to recognize Miss Steele, his 10th grade history teacher. Jack Sears, a member of DECA, basketball, and track and field. He would like to recognize Mr. Weisgerber, his 11th grade history teacher. Catherine Simsick, a member of Girl Up, Key Club, and tennis. She would like to recognize Miss Steele, her 10th grade history teacher. Carly Smith, a member of the MHS wrestling team and art club. He would like to recognize Miss Merle, his 8th grade English teacher. Timmy Stiles, a member of the football team, the Stars and Stripes Club, and the rugby team. He would like to recognize Mr. Dunn, his 9th grade math teacher. Ava Sullivan, a member of the softball team, the Gold Ribbon Club, and Student Council. She would like to recognize Mrs. Renard, her 9th grade history teacher. Chloe Sullivan, a member of the soccer team, both indoor and outdoor track, and the Gold Ribbon Club. She would like to recognize Mrs. Biagi, her 10th and 11th grade English teacher.
Cole Summers, a member of DECA, football, and the baseball team. He would like to recognize Mr. Kopp, his 11th grade history teacher. Brendan Tierney, a member of the Athletic Leadership Council, orchestra, and the tennis team. He would like to recognize Mr. Raymond, his 10th grade English teacher. Paige Valentine, a member of the Student Council, Ambassadors, and the field hockey team. She would like to recognize Ms. Vitez, her 9th and 10th grade English teacher. Anna White, a member of the dance team and the spring and winter track teams. She would like to recognize Miss Lehman, her 10th and 11th grade French teacher. Jack Winslow, a member of the jazz band. He would like to recognize Mrs. Denty, his 6th grade science teacher. Elizabeth Wolf, a member of the Key Club and the math team. She would like to recognize Miss Consolati, her 10th grade Algebra 2 teacher. Evan Young, a member of winter and spring track along with cross country. He would like to recognize Miss Heath, his 10th grade chemistry teacher. Sophia Young, a member of the speech and debate club, the dance team, and softball. She would like to recognize Mr. Takachi, her 5th grade teacher. All right, that's it.
All right. Before I start my speech, can we get a round of applause for the inductees, please? One of my favorite classes during my time as a student of Marshfield High School was Miss Steele's pre-AP U.S. History class. If you did not have Miss Steele during your sophomore year, you missed out on a hardworking, entertaining, and energetic teacher who cares deeply about her students. Even though it is one of my favorite classes, it is one of the hardest classes I have ever taken. It is an AP class that you take over 2 years, and every day over those 2 years, you are required to put in AP effort. That means countless hours of notes, studying, and trying to memorize as much information as you can. When I first found out that I had to put a week towards only one of my classes, I got discouraged and considered dropping out. Miss Steele did not let that happen, though. Because of her efforts to find ways to keep us engaged and involved in the classroom, I started becoming more and more interested in history. My scores began to rise from 70s to 80s, and eventually I was earning scores of 90s in her class. My notes became easier for me to take because I found the subject matter more interesting to learn about. She taught me and my class new strategies to take notes and new ways to study that I am still using to this day. My favorite activity that we did in Miss Steele's class was a mock trial for Andrew Jackson. Being a competitive person, I wanted to win so badly that I decided to research every fact that I could about Andrew Jackson and the historical figures that I would have to interview. At the time, I was recovering from another one of my sports injuries, and I vividly remember having to give my case in front of the class on crutches. Miss Steele was in her chair in the corner as the judge, and I remember loving every second of the trial besides being on crutches. This mock trial activity is still my favorite activity ever because of its competitive nature. And due to the competitive nature of the assignment, I still remember everything I need to know about Andrew Jackson and his trial. As the end of the year approached, I found myself disappointed that I could not take her class again. She held final review sessions that I attended, and she was always available after school to help. I did not do amazingly on the final. And I reached out during the summer to ask what I did wrong. Even during the summer, Miss Steele got back to me in less than 24 hours with a detailed response about where I could have done better. In this email, she also said that I could always ask for help, and it was at this moment that I realized what a truly special teacher she was. She had made an incredibly difficult class into an exciting and interesting class, and it showed me how much she truly cared about her students. She took time during her summer to review what I did wrong and help me understand what I needed to do. The amount of gratitude I have for her is impossible to put into words. And I know that it's just not me that feels this way. Every single student that has had her or currently has her says the same thing. Understanding, loving, dedicated, funny, and determined to help you as much as she can. And these are just some of the ways my peers have described her to me. I would also like to mention that if you do not have Ms. Steele as your class advisor, you are missing out on one of the greatest class advisors of all time. Just to name a couple of her accomplishments so far, prom was incredibly well done and extremely fun. Senior sunrise was a blast, and senior breakfast was delicious. I can attest to every single one of these, especially senior breakfast, where I ate probably 30 pancakes and had about 20 Kool-Aids. Everything she does is done exceptionally well, and I am excited to see what else she has in store for the senior class this year. And if it is half as fun as the mock trial we did sophomore year together, I know we will love it. I present to you an extremely kind and selfless person, as well as one of my favorite teachers, Ms. Steele.
Connor, you're gonna make me cry. Good evening. My name is Kelly Steele, and I've been a social studies teacher at Marshfield High School for 7 years. Thank you to the National Honor Society leadership and Mr. Weisgerber for entrusting me with this honor. And thank you, Connor, for your kind words. I, too, was a proud member of this organization when I was in high school. When it came time to write this speech, I first sought out the advice of my coworkers to see what I could say. Mr. Tarosian told me to be inspirational. Ms. Good told me to make it heartfelt. And Ms. Stevenson told me to keep it short. Tonight, as we celebrate your achievements, we are also celebrating 4 key pillars that each of you embodies: scholarship, service, leadership, and character. These pillars are not just ideals, but qualities that you live by and bring into our school community each day. Scholarship is about so much more than grades. It's about a commitment to learning, a thirst for understanding, and a resilience to keep going even when things get tough. Service speaks to the way each of you has chosen to look beyond yourselves. It's showing up for a classmate in need, volunteering, and giving time to causes that matter. Leadership isn't always about titles or roles. It's about setting an example, lifting others up, and making choices that inspire those around you. True leadership can be quiet and subtle, yet powerful. Character is who you are when no one's watching, and in today's world where recognition can often feel immediate and ever-present, it's perhaps more challenging than ever to show character when there's no audience, no accolades. Yet character is about standing firm in your values and being honest, kind, and courageous. In reflecting on these pillars, I had the idea to go back and see if I could find my NHS application from many years ago. And in the depths of my Google Drive, I found it. I wondered what those words meant to me at 16 years old and if they still had the same meaning to me today. In no surprise to anyone who knows me, I wrote my entire essay about wanting to be a teacher. I've known I wanted to be a teacher since I was 4 years old. Teaching is the family business, so to say. I was first inspired to pursue education by my grandfather, who was a longtime educator and principal of Weymouth High School. Some of my very first memories were walking around the school with him on Halloween, looking at the kids' costumes. I remember thinking the building was so big and the students were so grown up. My brothers and I used to always go to the senior cookout, and I remember loving every second. That might be more so to his secretaries sneaking us candy on the side, but I loved being in school. I loved attending the Thanksgiving football games. I loved seeing the pictures of my grandparents dressed up for prom, standing in front of the chandelier at Lombardo's. I loved hearing stories about students and the antics over the years. I loved hearing about some of the students who stayed in touch long after they graduated and long after my grandfather retired. In my NHS essay, I wrote of how my grandfather's time as principal taught me so much about leadership and character. He was never a yeller, but always stern. His students knew he had high expectations, but did not let a student's mistakes define them. I have met so many people who talk about how my grandfather was one of the only people who gave them second, third, and sometimes fourth chances to be better. When he passed in 2020, there was an outpouring of stories from people talking about how that voice that always believed in them impacted their lives for the better. I knew I always wanted to be a leader like him, making sure each student feels heard and knows their own potential. Once someone was his student, they were always his student, and he never stopped caring about their journey and their successes. My mom was also a teacher. When I was in elementary school, I saw her pursue her dream of going back to earn her degree. She pursued this education to feed her passion for helping students learn after becoming a para at my elementary school. I remember when she got her grades for her classes, and they were all A's, might I add, she would be just as excited to show me as I was to show her my 5th grade report card. She showed me that hard work and commitment to learning was a worthwhile and lifelong pursuit. She became a 2nd grade teacher, and so the family business continued to grow. I spent countless summers volunteering to help set up her classroom and put up bulletin boards. Mr. Weisgerber will say I still do this to this day. I volunteered to help organize the library or be an extra set of hands during field day. I graded so many math facts, so many worksheets, so many spelling tests. It reaffirmed my choice to pursue education. But it did also help me realize the little kids were not for me. When I was young, I would always play teacher with my stuffed animal students. I dreamed about someday having a classroom full of students calling me Miss Steele. It is without a doubt that I could not have achieved this dream without meeting those high standards of scholarship, leadership, character, and service. Not every day as a teacher is easy, but it is the absolute joy of my life. I love getting to teach early American history and make jokes about how Henry Clay is always the answer. I love when I read the Gettysburg Address and I get a little misty-eyed in the front of the room. I love hearing about last night's game or how the concert went. Getting to bear witness to your strengths as students, as people, is what makes my day every day. The pillars of the National Honor Society serve as a foundation to achieve my dream, and I know it can be the same for all of you. My parting advice to you is to take a moment to reflect on how scholarship, leadership, service, and character have brought you to this important moment today, and be proud of it. Think of the people who helped foster these traits in you, and thank them if you can. For me, that is my grandfather, my mom, and I also have to shout out my dad, who was a lineman for 37 years, working in every type of weather, the definition of hard work. But this is just the beginning. Being a member of this organization is a challenge to uphold these pillars. Each of you are a representative of Marshfield National Honor Society and must show our community what that means. Congratulations to each of you and your families on this incredible achievement. Thank you for being our scholars, our role models, our leaders. Continue to build on these pillars, knowing that each day brings a chance to add more strength. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Steele, for your wonderful message tonight. The members of the National Honor Society, the chapter offices, and our advisor would especially like to thank our families, MHS administrators, faculty and staff, the guidance department, Ms. Kathleen Bandera, Mr. Battis and the custodian staff, and Mr. Lynch and the Quip Center for helping to make this day a possibility. I would also like to thank our advisor, Mr. Weisgerber, the members of the Induction Ceremony Committee, and all the volunteers for their hard work in organizing this year's ceremony. Please join me in thanking them with a round of applause. As for the new members, I can't wait to see the creativity, the passion, and the spirit that you all will bring here. Let nothing and no one define you beside yourself. No challenge is beyond your reach. You all have a light within you that can truly brighten the world. You all have great gifts, and thank you for sharing it with us today. In just a moment, the new inductees will exit, after which you are all invited to join us in the cafeteria for a reception in their honor. But before doing so, please join me one more time in applauding all of our new National Honor Society members. Thank you everyone so much for a wonderful night, and we hope to see you in student dining for refreshments.